People are so stupid. Are they doing this to spite Trump? And when their child comes out with autism, possibly, then what are you going to do? So, Trump did a press conference. Was it yesterday? With RFK himself and a few others. And they were talking about autism. I did not see the whole thing. But I was there for the Tylenol part. I will tell you this. My mom passed away in 2005. And at that moment, I began to study natural health. As a matter of fact, I was studying it before because I wanted to find something to help her reverse her cancer. After she passed away, I continued to study natural health, read books about herbs, supplementation, nutrition, different things like that. I ran across so many different doctors talking about reversing certain illnesses. Now, one of the things that I ran across pretty frequently over the years among medications not to take, Tylenol. First of all, when I was younger, I tried taking Tylenol for headaches a few times. It never worked. Ibuprofen always worked on me. Ibuprofen has its problems. Matter of fact, that will be the only medication you find in my house. I have had a bottle of ibuprofen for years because from time to time I would get stress headaches and it would be like the only thing that I could find that would relieve them. I could get massages, I could stretch, I could deep breathe, I could do a bunch of different things and it wouldn't work. I mean, yeah, and they wouldn't really totally get rid of it. So I would take some ibuprofen from time to time. Ibuprofen's got their own problems. But Tylenol, I've heard so many times it destroys the liver, messes up the liver, gives problems with the liver. This is my first time finding out that it could be a contributor to autism. Now, remember when I told you the other day that the natural health care physician that I spoke to, I asked him, well, do you think that vaccines cause autism? Because that whole thing was going on. And he said, no, but I think they're a part of the puzzle. You see that? It's talking about when parents talk about they take their children to get their shots, several shots. It's the concoction of all of them that seems to be causing autism when you ask certain doctors. And now they're talking about giving women Tylenol during their pregnancies and certain issues. And I'm just like, wait, so your Trump derangement syndrome makes you make a TikTok video while taking Tylenol? Let me tell you something. I told Scarlo that if she ever does, we ever plan children, to have children, and she does get pregnant, no medication. It's natural births, all that good stuff. I will look into everything so that she can have a natural, comfortable, and most importantly, healthy birth for her and our child. There ain't going to be no unnatural concoctions going in her body. Okay? Nothing. Okay? So, I don't understand this. So it says here, pregnant liberals filmed themselves downing Tylenol to spite Trump despite autism warning. They're saying it's 1 in 12 boys and 1 in 12 girls, 1 in 16 girls. And it used to be 1 in 10,000, right? Or 1 in 20,000, something like that. You just want to take that chance now just because a guy you don't like asked you to please don't take it. You can't make this up. Life is stranger than fiction. Pregnant women are filming themselves taking Tylenol in defiance against Donald Trump's shaky claim the painkiller causes autism in children. The president announced that doctors in the U.S. will begin advising expectant mothers against taking the drug because of the apparent link. See, here's my thing. If there's even a possibility that an unnatural substance like Tylenol could cause birth defects in my child, listen, if I was a woman, I'm just not taking it. They say, look, they're saying, listen, you're trying to have a child, Tylenol, they said Tylenol has been linked to low sperm count. Well, I'm not taking Tylenol. Like, what is wrong with these people? The president announced that doctors in the U.S. will begin advising expectant mothers against taking the drug because of the apparent link. Trump, 79, claiming that taking Tylenol is no good, adding that pregnant women should fight like hell to avoid taking it, except in cases of extreme fever. I saw a little bit of a clip earlier where a chick was like, a person who has no scientific background, like the doctors who are in the scientific background are telling people and they're not. And you still don't want to listen just because Trump was the messenger of it? How many times have doctors and scientists been wrong? A lot. A lot. How many times have they been right? A lot. You're going to have to connect all these dots for yourselves and make your own decision. But if they come out and they telling me that certain... Look, you didn't need to tell me that certain things were causing certain things in people a few years ago. And still... Come on now. And whenever a celebrity passes away... like it wasn't someone you were expecting, they're always asking, did they take? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Here's me pregnant. A pregnant woman taking Tylenol because I believe in science and not someone who has no medical background. One mom could say that's so. Science has been wrong. A lot. A lot. So you're flipping a coin. You're basically flipping a coin. They used to tell women that it was healthy to smoke cigarettes. You do know this, right? I'm going to trust the science. Good. Quit believing everything you see and hear, she wrote in the caption for the video, which racked up 30,000 likes and 305,000 views in just 17 hours. See, I ran into a doctor years ago online, and I watched several of his videos, and I read a few things, got his book, and he treated animals at first. And the light bulb went off for him after treating animals for several years, being a veterinarian. He said we were able to cure and reverse every single animal disease that they had through nutrition. Strictly through nutrition and diet. And he thought to himself, wait a minute. If we can do this with animals, we should be able to do this with humans. Several studies have linked acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, to higher rates of autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. However, the findings have not often been consistent, and many doctors say it is completely safe and even recommended because high fevers in pregnancy can harm the mother and the child. I'm going to tell you what I did one time, right? I was dating this chick whose mom was diagnosed with a fatty liver. I had taken an herbal liver cleanse called The Cleaner. I think you can still find it on Amazon. And I told her to tell her mom, tell her to get The Cleaner. That should help her out. The funny thing is, it's like a 2-session type of dose that's in the bottle. So you're supposed to take it for like a week. Then you can take it again later. She took it just 2 straight weeks. When she went back a couple of months later to the doctor, she didn't have a fatty liver no more. And the doctor said to her, "What did you do?" She said, "I took a liver cleanse." Guess what the doctor said? "What's a liver cleanse?" Trust the science. You gotta do your homework, folks. Can't just believe everybody and anybody with a white coat and the stethoscope that rhymed to play the game. Bars. Okay? I'm not saying that you have to believe Trump, but what I'm trying to say is you need to weigh things, and you have to look at everything that's coming out about these unnatural substances that people have been putting into their bodies for years. Everything from over-the-counter drugs like Tylenol, aspirin, and stuff like that, all the way to steroids and growth hormone and certain shots for things. You need to look at this stuff. We have everything on this planet that we need to reverse illness. But people have been trained over the years. Democrats are now chugging bottles of Tylenol on TikTok. Wrote one person. I don't even need to read the rest of this. This is absolute ridiculousness. Absolute ridiculousness. I cannot believe these people are doing this just despite Trump. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I will see you in the next video.